Did you know the wild, dusty world of Mad Max was filmed with almost no money, using real junkyard cars and borrowed police uniforms? The actors sometimes didn't get paid for weeks, and one stunt nearly ended in disaster. But out of that chaos came a movie that changed action films forever. With roaring engines, cracked leather, and sunburnt faces, Mad Max felt raw, real, and terrifyingly alive. It wasn't just a story, it was survival on film. Let's dive in and discover 20 weird and amazing facts about Mad Max. Number 20. They used real wrecked cars. No special effects. The filmmakers didn't have money for fancy props, so they hunted down real crashed cars from junkyards across Australia. Some vehicles were so broken they barely rolled. The famous Black Pursuit Special? It was a beat-up Ford Falcon GT they rebuilt by hand. Mechanics worked day and night, welding parts together like puzzle pieces. One car even caught fire during filming, but they kept rolling. That gritty look wasn't fake. It was born from desperation and sweat. What looked like a post-apocalyptic dream was actually made from real wreckage. It looked easy, but it was chaos. Number 19. Mel Gibson. Almost didn't get the role. Before he became famous, Mel Gibson was just another actor trying to pay rent. He auditioned for Max Rockatansky while sick with the flu, his voice hoarse, his eyes tired. The director, George Miller, almost picked someone else. But then Mel read one quiet line with such pain and anger that the room went silent. That moment sealed the deal. Still, Mel had never driven a manual car before and had to learn fast. He practiced for days just to handle Max's muscle car. That wasn't acting, it was real fear. Number 18. The movie was shot in blistering heat. Filming took place in summer near Melbourne, where temperatures hit over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Actors wore heavy leather jackets under that burning sun. Water was scarce. Some crew members passed out from heat stroke, yet they kept shooting because they couldn't afford delays. The dry wind, cracked earth, and hazy sky, you see? All real. No filters, no studio lights, just nature at its harshest. The desert feel wasn't created, it was endured. What looked perfect on screen almost went wrong behind the camera. Number 17. The biker gang was made of real tough guys. Many members of the Toe Cutters gang weren't professional actors. They were local bikers and tough guys hired off the street. Some had real criminal records. During breaks, they'd argue, fight, or race their bikes dangerously close to the set. The director used their natural aggression to make scenes feel more intense. In one scene, a biker actually punched another for real, and they kept the take. Their wild energy gave the film its dangerous edge. It looked easy, but it was chaos. Number 16. The budget was tiny. Like really tiny. Mad Max cost only about 350,000 Australian dollars to make, less than most TV episodes today. They reused costumes, shared food, and slept in vans. Film stock was so expensive, they shot very few takes. If an actor messed up, they'd often just keep going and fix it in editing. Every dollar mattered. Yet this tiny film became one of the most profitable movies ever made per dollar spent. That wasn't acting. It was real fear. Number 15. The police uniforms were borrowed and never returned. The production team didn't have money to make new police outfits, so they asked local officers if they could borrow real uniforms. Many said yes, but after filming wrapped, the clothes mysteriously disappeared. Some say they were lost in transit, others whisper they were sold for cash. Either way, the real cops never got them back. Those uniforms helped make the MFP feel authentic. What looked perfect on screen almost went wrong behind the camera. Number 14. The stunt. Where Max flips, his car was nearly fatal. In the final chase, Max's car flips, end over end. That wasn't CGI, it was real. The stunt driver, Grant Page, did it himself with almost no safety gear. The car landed hard and Grant was thrown around like a rag doll. He walked away with bruises but no major injuries. Pure luck. The crew cheered, but Grant later said he wouldn't do it again. For all the gold in Australia. It looked easy, but it was chaos. Number 13. The sound of engines was recorded separately, with love. The roar of Max's V8 Interceptor wasn't added in a studio. Sound engineers followed real muscle cars through empty roads, recording every growl and squeal. They even placed microphones inside exhaust pipes. Those sounds were layered to create the beastly engine noise we hear. Without those recordings, the car wouldn't feel alive. That deep rumble? It's the heartbeat of the movie. That wasn't acting. It was real fear. Number 12. The film was shot out of order. For weeks, because of weather, budget, and actor availability, scenes were filmed wildly out of sequence. One day, Mel Gibson would wear a clean jacket. The next, the same jacket was torn and bloody, even though it was an earlier scene in the story. Editors had to carefully stitch everything together like a patchwork quilt. It was confusing, stressful, and messy, but somehow it worked. What looked perfect on screen almost went wrong behind the camera. Number 11. The dog in the movie. Had no name, but Stolhart's, Max's loyal dog, appears in quiet moments, offering comfort in a cruel world. The dog wasn't trained for film. He was a stray found near the set. The crew fed him, and he stayed. He followed Mel around like a shadow. When it was time to shoot, he just knew what to do. No commands, no treats, just instinct. Sadly, the dog's fate after filming is unknown. It looked easy, but it was chaos. Number 10. The gasoline was painted blue to look scarcer. In the movie, fuel is precious, more valuable than gold. To show this, the crew dyed real gasoline blue so it would stand out on camera. Bright blue liquid pouring into tanks looked strange but powerful. Viewers instantly understood. This stuff is rare. The trick worked so well that fans still talk about blue gas today. That visual choice shaped how we see scarcity in movies. That wasn't acting. It was real fear. Number 9. The director was a doctor, not a filmmaker. George Miller studied medicine before making movies. He used his savings from being an emergency room doctor to fund Mad Max. He applied medical logic to filmmaking, plan carefully, act fast, stay calm under pressure. His background helped him choreograph crashes like surgeries, precise and brutal. He even treated minor injuries on set himself. A healer turned storyteller. What looked perfect on screen almost went wrong behind the camera. Number 8. The final chase. Took weeks and broke 3 cars. The epic highway battle wasn't shot in one day. It took over 2 weeks. They destroyed 3 versions of Max's car and 2 motorcycles. Each crash had to be timed perfectly, with cameras on rails, cranes, and even helicopters. One wrong move could have killed someone, yet every explosion, skid, and flip feels seamless. That rhythm came from endless rehearsal and raw courage. It looked easy, but it was chaos. Number 7. The music was mostly made with synthesizers, unusual for 1979. Most action movies used orchestras, but Mad Max chose eerie electronic music. Composer Brian May, not the Queen guitarist, used early synthesizers to create a cold mechanical sound. It made the world feel futuristic, yet broken. The main theme, haunting and lonely, mirrors Max's soul. No violins, no trumpets, just buzzing wires and digital echoes. That wasn't acting. It was real fear. Number 6. The opening scene was filmed at dawn, with no permission. The famous chase that opens the movie? Shot without permits. The crew snuck onto a public highway before sunrise. They blocked lanes with their own cars and prayed no police showed up. Cameras rolled as bikes screamed past wheat fields. If caught, they could have been fined or shut down. But the golden light, the dust, the speed, it was worth the risk. What looked perfect on screen almost went wrong behind the camera. Number 5. Mel Gibson's wife. Helped him memorize lines. Mel was nervous and overwhelmed during filming. His wife, Robin, would sit with him at night under a single lamp, helping him rehearse lines in their tiny motel room. She believed in him when no one else did. That support gave him the strength to play Max with quiet intensity. Behind every hero is someone who sees their light first. It looked easy, but it was chaos. Number 4. The movie was banned in New Zealand for being too violent. When Mad Max first released, New Zealand banned it entirely. Officials said the violence was too extreme for audiences. Other countries demanded cuts. But fans smuggled tapes and word spread. The ban only made it more legendary. Eventually, it was released uncut and became a cult hit. Sometimes being feared means you're doing something right. That wasn't acting, it was real fear. Number 3. The black car was almost pink. Early designs for Max's Interceptor included wild colors, red, silver, even pink. But George Miller insisted on black. Black says final, he said. It's the color of judgment. They painted it matte black to absorb light, making it look like a shadow on wheels. That choice turned the car into a character itself. What looked perfect on screen almost went wrong behind the camera. Number 2. The ending was changed. Last minute. Originally, Max was supposed to die in the final crash, but test audiences cried and begged for hope. So Miller reshaped the ending. Max walks away, wounded but alive, into the wasteland. That small change made him a myth, not just a man. It gave birth to sequels, legends, and a whole genre. One rewrite saved a hero. It looked easy, but it was chaos. Number 1. The whole movie was inspired by a real car crash. Years before filming, George Miller witnessed a horrific head-on collision. The twisted metal, the silence after screams, that image haunted him. He wanted to explore how violence changes people. Mad Max wasn't just about speed, it was about grief, rage, and losing your humanity. Every crash, every stare, every silence carries that memory. That wasn't acting, it was real fear. Bonus fact. Deep in the archives, there's a lost scene where Max visits his wife's grave before the final chase. It was filmed, but cut for pacing. Only a few frames survive, showing Mel kneeling in silence, placing a rusted toy car on the dirt. The crew said he stayed in character long after cut was called, staring at nothing. That moment, though unseen, shaped his performance. One small choice changed movie history. Mad Max isn't just about cars and chaos. It's about what happens when kindness disappears, and how one person can hold on to their soul in a broken world. It reminds us that courage isn't loud. Sometimes it's just getting up after everything falls apart. If you enjoyed these stories, subscribe for more. Every movie hides a truth, and we'll keep uncovering them, one story at a time.